Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user FlimsyChannel5057. Boyfriend left after seeing ex's engagement post. Okay, so I, 25 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 30 male, for a little over 2 years now. We just moved in together a few months ago. Last night, we were doom scrolling on Insta Reels and his ex's post popped up about her getting engaged. I don't really know much about their relationship in detail other than her cheating on my boyfriend with her current fiancé while she was engaged to my boyfriend. They were together for 5 years and it's been 3.5 years since they broke up. So I know that it didn't end well with them and it's just a sour topic, so I never really bring it up. I don't follow her, but she's kind of famous on Insta as she is a food blogger and I watch a lot of that content. That's why she popped up. Anyways, when he saw it, he froze and became tense. I asked him if everything was okay and he said, yeah. I mentioned that he looked tense because of the post. He just brushed it off and rolled over to go to sleep. The thing is that we didn't even really cuddle and we cuddle almost every night when we go to sleep. Later, I woke up around 2 a.m. and he was gone, completely gone. He was nowhere in our house. I called him 10, 15 times, no answer, phone was switched off. I even called one of his friends and they had no clue where he was. I was thinking of calling his mom, but I know she would have blown his phone up, so I decided to wait and call my friend. She suggested to wait a few hours, so I did. Then, around 10:30-ish, he finally calls me back. I ask him, what the F is he doing? And he just says, I'm fine, please don't call me right now, I'll explain later. And he hangs up before I could say anything properly. I tried calling him again, obviously, because what does that even mean? I don't get why he would even be upset about that post, seeing they broke up so long ago. I can't imagine leaving your girlfriend over this at night. He didn't specifically say anything about the reason he went off, but I'm pretty sure it's because of the post. I stopped calling him after a few times as he's not going to pick up. I really don't know what to do. Things have been good with us until now. This is the first time I have ever felt like I'm being betrayed by him. I don't even know where he is. Should I leave him alone and give him space? I just feel sick about this situation. Well, OP, I think you're absolutely right. I think it definitely has to do with the post. Maybe it triggered something in him. I don't think he's going back to see if he can get back together with her because I want to assume he has more self-respect than that. So to me, it is clear that something's going on with him. The question is, how is he handling it? In my opinion, like crap. Whatever it is, if it's something that he doesn't think he can share with you at the moment, he doesn't just jump and run away. What the hell, man? I can understand that feelings can sometimes overwhelm us, but the way that he reacted is not right, plain and simple. If something affected him and he can't share it, then he keeps it to himself so he can mull it over, so he can think about it and understand why it's making him feel this way. And if it's something that he can share with you, then he should. What he shouldn't do is what he unfortunately did. And I think that should be a big part of the conversation that you guys clearly need to have. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. And now let's check out the community comments. QWERTYBet says, I don't understand why people are attacking you in these comments. If I had made it to the stage of moving in with someone and one night they left out of nowhere, I'd be concerned too, no matter what happened the day before. And while yes, he probably just needs time to process the engagement, it would have been easy to tell you that. He didn't even have to say it in person or on the phone. He could leave and then send a quick text right after to let you know that he just needed some time alone and that he was alright. You're valid to be upset about this. I understand his distress, but it's been 3.5 years. The least he can do is give you the courtesy of telling you he was leaving to be on his own for a bit instead of letting you wake up alone in the middle of the night and leaving you to panic. Carbon Copy 404 says, as someone who's been cheated on, I empathize with your boyfriend. However, leaving in the middle of the night and refusing to communicate about why is so not on. I think you also have cause for concern as to why your boyfriend had such a visceral reaction to his ex's engagement. When my cheating ex got into a new relationship nearly 2 years after, I cried. and I knew deep down that was because I was not over it. I was also remaining single and not dating, as it's not fair to enter a new relationship while you're still really affected by a previous relationship. It's everyone's own responsibility to heal from their traumas in a way that doesn't affect people that had nothing to do with them. I get some old feelings were probably dug up for your boyfriend, but you deserve an explanation and for him to be open and honest about why he's disappeared. What he's done is not fair in the context of his new relationship with you. Rothwild says, these comments are really weird. It's not a normal thing for a long-term boyfriend to disappear randomly, especially when his home is also your home. Not saying he's doing anything wrong, just that maybe he's not in a good mental state and it's valid to be concerned. Sure, give him a few hours, then call again, once in the morning. If he doesn't respond, text and say you'd like to make sure he's okay. I don't think the right option here is to just let him have space indefinitely. Seems like he's really upset about something. Sweet Knee 7425 says, I got cheated on. I have some weird traumas and insecurities from that, and it is 100% my responsibility to heal from that and work through it. My husband doesn't deserve to feel unsafe in our relationship. It's fine to have negative feelings towards someone who hurt you in the past, but him leaving and saying nothing leaves you in the position where you don't know if he's angry at him, at her, that she got away with it, or if he was jealous. It's an absolutely crappy position to put your partner of almost 4 years in. As a side note, he needs to have a better plan for how to handle this in the future. If he's not going to block her social media accounts, it is not fair to someone to commit to a life of you spiraling and disappearing as your ex gets married, has children, buys a house, etc. There's no way to feel safe in that relationship when you know he will once again disappear at the sight of her moving forwards. And Burning Gold 12 says, if an Instagram post of his cheating ex getting engaged sent him running for the hills in the middle of the night, it sounds like he's not completely over his ex and should have waited longer before jumping into a relationship, unfortunately. Well, the community agrees. The way he reacted to the post is not okay, and they need to talk about this. Everybody's got a different speculation as to why he ran off. So how about we move on to the update to see how this story ends? Hey guys, first of all, thank you to everyone who commented. I didn't expect so many people to respond, and honestly, reading through your messages kept me from spiraling even more. I tried to go back to sleep after the post. He did come back around 6 a.m. He looked like crap because I guess he hadn't slept. He had just been driving around according to him. I didn't even know what to say to him. Luckily, he was the one who talked first. He apologized a lot of times for running away and for ignoring my calls. I obviously asked him what the F happened and why he would ditch me like that and about his ex. He told me he had a panic attack and he didn't want me to witness it, so he went to his car and after that he drove off. He explained that it wasn't because he wasn't over her and that he never wanted her back. I asked him if he was still in love with her. He said it just happened after seeing that picture of them together and happy. He said he was depressed after everything went down with his ex, but he thought he was fine when he started dating me and that he has been really happy. But he panicked because it hit him that she was actually happy and their breakup hasn't affected her like it has him, seeing she was with the guy she cheated on my boyfriend with. This led him into overthinking that what if he could never be happy like that when getting engaged again and getting married to me. I was honestly a bit shocked at first because we had talked about how he would love to marry me someday and I didn't really understand how to comprehend this information, but we talked for like 2 hours and he was genuinely sorry and he doesn't seem like he's not over her. He did say he wants to find that kind of happiness with me and he wants that future with me and he apologized again for being an a-hole. I made it clear to him that if he ever runs off like that, we are done. And he agreed. And honestly, we were both kind of crying by the end of our conversation and I also blocked his ex on my Instagram. He already had blocked her before anyone speculates. I think I could forgive him. Thank you again for all the help. The comments helped a lot. We might try therapy. Well, OP, from what you tell us, he was going through something. Again, the way he acted on it was not the right way. And yeah, there is some damage done, but at least you guys have talked about it and have settled on a path forward. So here's wishing you both the best, OP. Thanks so much for sharing and take care. And now let's move to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole? Would I be the A-hole public? And it's by user BitterConfidence866. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my brother move in after he got evicted because I don't want his lifestyle around my kids? My brother, 30 male, has always been the fun one in the family. Charming, spontaneous, the life of the party. But behind all that charm is a trail of bad decisions, maxed out credit cards, and relationships that never last more than a month. He loves to spend money like it grows on trees. Nights out, expensive drinks, designer clothes, and random gifts for whichever woman he's currently trying to impress. He works, but he never saves. Every paycheck disappears by the weekend. A few weeks ago, he got evicted from his apartment because he fell behind on rent again. Apparently, the landlord didn't understand that times are tough, but the truth is, he just spends more than he earns and always has. Now, he's asking if he can move in with me just for a while. Here's the problem. I have 2 kids and I know exactly what kind of chaos follows him. He's the type to stumble in late at night, bring random women over and leave beer bottles on the counter. I love him, but I do not want that energy anywhere near my kids. I told him no. I offered to help him find a short-term rental or even cover part of a deposit somewhere else, but he lost it. He said I'm acting holier than thou and that family helps family. He even told our mom that I care more about my couch than my brother. Now my parents are on my case, saying I'm being cruel and that it's just temporary. But I don't think it's cruel to protect my home and my kids from someone who refuses to grow up. I've spent years building a stable life. I can't risk that because my brother wants the place to crash between parties. So am I the a-hole for refusing to let my brother move in after he got evicted for blowing all his money on women and drinks? Not at all, OP. Far from it. You're protecting your kids. That's basically it. You don't want that energy near them. That's your call. And that's the right one, by the way. And your parents giving you grief because you're not going to bail out your irresponsible brother is ridiculous. They caused this. He is the result of their parenting. So anybody should be bailing him out because they feel they have to. It should be them. Not that they should, because your brother's old enough to learn the lesson of carrying your own weight and paying for yourself. But no, OP, you're not the a-hole. He's not your responsibility. He is his own. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's check out the community comments. Detroit Smash 8701 says, not the a-hole. You did offer to help him stay somewhere else on his own. It's not your fault that he wanted to live with you because he didn't want any responsibility, so living with you would be living bill-free. If your parents feel so strongly about him needing help, then they can help him. Your parents need to learn that they are not the authority in your house. They can run theirs how they want, but the only thing they can run in yours are their mouths. Brandy Boo 13 says, you are definitely not the a-hole in this situation. I always find it funny that family always calls people selfish when they don't give in. Hope you stay strong in this situation. Live to be Grateful says, your parents are right. Family does come first. In this case, your family will come first. You and your children are the most important family. Your parents should step up and take their child in. Since family is so important, keep the chaos out of your house. If you let your brother live with you, you will be told by your parents to look the other way. Be more understanding, and family doesn't kick family out. They raised a man-child. They can let the man-child live with them. And Grandma Bear 707 says, not the a-hole. And why do parents always tell their kids they are responsible to take care of family or siblings when they are not offering up their house to their own adult and irresponsible child? Do not allow your brother to bring his chaos into your home with your children. Well, the community agrees that OP is not the a-hole and do not let him come near the house. So let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Hey everyone, I didn't expect my original post to get attention. Thank you to everyone who weighed in, even the tough comments. I read through most of them and honestly, your advice helped me see things way clearer. So a lot has happened since I posted. When I told my brother he couldn't move in, he went off, like full meltdown. He called me a bitch, called me selfish, said I was acting better than him, and even told my parents that I was turning the family against him. For a while, they were on his side, saying I shouldn't just help him out until he gets back on his feet. Well, turns out my instincts were right. 2 days later, a mutual friend sent me a video of my brother out clubbing, popping bottles, surrounded by women, literally the same night that he told me he was sleeping in his car. He even bragged on his Instagram story about needing a vacation after all the stress, a vacation after being evicted. When I confronted him about it, he said, I need to blow off steam before figuring stuff out. Apparently, figuring stuff out doesn't include looking for a job or a place to live, because he's been couch hopping between friends' apartments and showing up drunk to family dinners like nothing happened. The final straw? He showed up at my house unannounced one night, clearly drunk, with some random girl in tow. My kids were asleep and he started yelling through the door, saying I was heartless for not letting him in. My husband had to step in and tell him to leave before things get ugly. After that, I drew a hard line. I told my parents that if they want to help him, that's fine, but I'm done. I've blocked him for now because the guilt trips and late night calls were too much. The best part? Since then, my mom actually apologized to me. She said she saw a bit of his behavior firsthand when he crashed at their place for a few days. He came home drunk twice, flirted with one of her neighbors, and borrowed money that he hasn't returned. So no, I don't feel guilty anymore. I feel sad. Sure, it's hard watching someone you love spiral, but I'm not sacrificing my kids' safety or my sanity for someone who refuses to take responsibility. For everyone who said, protect your peace, thank you. You were 100% right. Verdict confirmed. My brother's the a-hole. Well, Opie, you're right. It is sad to see someone you love spiral, but you also are right again. Protect your family first. Hopefully he wakes up someday and turns things around. But in the meantime, Opie, here's wishing you and your family the best. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance and it's by user Salnick. You want me to resign? Well, good luck without me. Disclaimer 1, English is not my first language. Disclaimer 2, labor laws in my country probably differ from labor laws in yours, so I'll try to explain them when they are important to the story. So, for the last 10 years, I've been working from home as automation engineer for a relatively small company that produced custom-built industrial gas treatment units, industrial chillers, compressor stations, that sort of thing. My job was to write algorithms for PLCs, design HMI, and setting up data transfer for customers' SCADA system. Basically, I was the person who told machines what to do. I was getting significant below market pay for such position, but with only 4 to 5 projects per year and each taking me 2 to 3 weeks to complete. I wasn't arguing since I was getting paid for mostly doing nothing, and I was fortunate enough to have considerable passive income thanks to lucky investments of my inheritance. Everything was great until a couple of years ago when the owner decided to retire and sold the company. So here comes new management with new policies. In my country, every worker is entitled to at least 4 weeks of paid vacation time per year. All unspent vacation is rolled over to the next year, but you have to take at least 2 uninterrupted weeks per year. So if you only take your mandatory vacation, you accumulate 14 additional days per year. Given how much free time I actually had, I rarely used more than the 2 mandatory weeks per year, always making sure that there would be no commissioning or maintenance planned during my vacation. During these events, I would remotely access maintenance engineers' laptops to make necessary adjustment to the algorithms, so everything works perfectly in real working conditions. But one of the first policies new management implemented was schedule-based vacations. So now I had to decide when I take my 2 weeks at the start of the year. I choose the first weeks of April. In early March, I get a call from manager of the development team who asks me to come on a quick 3-day work trip to help maintenance engineers switch PLC and upload a new project. Apparently, thanks to the new maintenance team manager, a lot of maintenance engineers quit and they are short-staffed, and the only one that they can send at the moment is bad with computers. There isn't much for me to do since we had identical station going through the same PLC switch a month prior, so I'll just fly there, chill until electrical panel is rewired, new PLC is installed, when I just upload a new project to PLC and fly home. I thought to myself and agreed to go. Apparently, maintenance engineers not only bad with computers but also knows nothing about electrical work, so I had to do everything myself, which I am not actually qualified to do, but at this point, I don't want to disappoint the client. After a week and with only 3 burnt down fuses, I finished. After returning home, I informed my manager that I am not going to any more business trips since I don't get paid enough to also do maintenance engineer's work. First day of my vacation comes and I get another call. Despite my poor judgment, I decide to answer. Hey, we need you to go on another business trip starting next Monday. It will just take a week. It's for this project. I'm not familiar with that project. It was done while I was on paternity leave. In my country, either parent can take paternity or maternity leave up to 3 years, and after the first 6 months, my wife asked me to switch. Yeah, we had to contract a specialist to do that project while you were on leave. I'll send it to you along with documentation right away, and disconnects. I checked the received project and it's huge. 7 PLCs, 6 HMI panels, everything has to work as a single system and the project is a total mess. Nothing would work. You just had to do everything from scratch. Will probably take me close to a month to finish, and that is with doing everything from the comfort of my own home where I am more productive. So I call back. Yeah, I looked at this project and that's a mess. It's not in the working condition and no way to finish it in a week. I'll do what I can do, but as I said last time, I'm doing it remotely. As always, I won't go on another business trip, especially now. I have many things planned for the next few weeks. I can't go. But reception on site is terrible. You won't be able to access it remotely, and we already missed all deadlines on this project. The client is pissed and we are looking at huge fines. The CEO is breathing down my neck. We need it fixed yesterday. Then I'll email the maintenance engineer project with what changes each evening once he is on the hotel with decent reception, and he can email me a list of things that need fixing. It's not the first time we've done it that way. Okay, I hear you. I have to speak with the CEO about it. About 15 minutes later, I get another call. CEO said, what if you don't want to go, you should just write a resignation letter. I am the only employee who knows how to do my job, but yeah, sure, I'll send my resignation letter right away. I was thinking about not doing it, so they had to terminate me and pay me termination compensation, but when I decided to be petty in a different way, in my country, you had to give at least 2 weeks notice, unless both parties agreed to shorten notice. So I write my letter and set my resignation day in 2 weeks. Shortly after it gets approved, it is done, and I get another call a bit later. So will you be able to finish this project before you leave? I won't be able to do any work on that project before I leave. What? Why? You still have 2 weeks and we really need it done. Well, you see, I'm on vacation right now. It ends in 2 weeks and I'm leaving the next day. The fallout is I recently got a message from an ex-colleague I have a friendly relationship with. Apparently, they are in deep crap right now. Deadlines were missed, fines rolled in, the company's accounts have been frozen, they even were unable to pay salaries for the last 2 months. They are probably toast, and if things go that way, they'll have to file for bankruptcy. Don't worry, people will get paid in the end. In my country, salary debts have the highest priority when bankrupt businesses sell their assets. Downside, I still haven't received my compensation for my 120 saved vacation days. Well, OP, it was their way or the highway, and the highway looked a lot better. Thanks for sharing. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.